This is music, and this is a haunted first impressions video. Welcome to another first impressions video. In these videos I share with you my first impressions of the many blind buys I've picked up lately. I have a handful of CDs to talk about, so let's get down to business. Up first, some thrash metal from a veteran band, Poltergeist. This is Back to Haunt. Now, back in the day, they were a second or third tier thrash metal band, not in terms of quality but in terms of fame. This is a more recent album that I blind bought, although I have a couple of their original run albums on vinyl and they are really good. And this one too, this one is great. I really enjoyed listening to this one. I would say it's modern thrash metal. It has a very modern thrash metal production. You have a lot of modern thrash metal elements popping up, but you also have lots of old school 80s, early 90s thrash metal and even some kind of speed metal on here too. So I think it's a very good mix of different eras of thrash metal. You also have some kind of post-Pantera groove thrash or whatever you want to call it, and that actually works very well. So to me, this is actually a fantastic thrash metal album, a contemporary thrash metal album if you wish. It's more melodic than I anticipated, but I quite appreciate that. So in other words, this is awesome thrash metal. It's not that melodic that I would call it power thrash, but it has lots of melody. And I'm thinking if you like your, I don't know, modern artillery or something, you might enjoy this too. I really like it. Glad I picked it up. Up next, some crossover, hardcore, punk, whatever, raw power. This is a twofer. So you have Screams from the Gutter and you have After Your Brain. So 2 albums, 30 songs, 1 disc. So you know where it's at. The first, they're described as a crossover band, but I would say Screams from the Gutter, the first one, to me that is more of a hardcore punk album than a thrash metal album. You have some metallic elements for sure, but there's more just angry hardcore punk on it. I consider this, the first one, a hardcore punk album. The second one, After Your Brain, is much more metallic, so I would probably consider that a crossover thrash album. Still super hardcore though. And when I say hardcore, I'm not thinking your kind of heavy, groovy, kind of macho New York City hardcore. This is more like the, short, fast, angry, we hate everything songs. That kind of hardcore punk. Because the songs are short, aggressive, very, very, very angry. The vocals sound super angry too on both of these albums. And the lyrical universe is this kind of, social justice, anarchy, stick it to the man, people in power suck, that kind of lyrical universe, which you want from that kind of angry, we hate everything hardcore punk. So, you know what? I really enjoy this. This is the kind of music, if you've had a bad day, if you're angry, throw this one onto your CD player and live out your anger through the music. It's very enjoyable. I quite liked it. Okay, the next one is an accidental blind buy. Rain, Now and Forever. I thought it was the thrash metal band Rain, but it turns out this is another band called Rain. It's a heavy metal band. And I would say it's modern heavy metal. The sound, the guitar tone, very modern. You have lots of old school heavy metal things on it though. And I quite enjoy it. It reminds me a little bit maybe of Metal Church, maybe Refuge Denied, Sanctuary. Has lots of good songs on here. I quite liked it. I like the vocals too. Just solid heavy metal. If you're looking for just some no-nonsense solid heavy metal, Now and Forever by Rain is very good. And then, quite interesting, we have Sleepy Hollow, Tales of Gods and Monsters. This is also straight up heavy metal in a very similar vein to Rain, but it still sounds quite different. Rain has much more of, just an old school heavy metal atmosphere wrapped in modern heavy metal. This one is much darker. So I also think Sanctuary when I listen to this one, but more Into the Mirror Black. So that's quite interesting, right? Heavy, dark, lots of melody though. The vocals are a bit darker too on here. Very good stuff. I think, although that's by accident, and I'm sure they never considered these two bands. They, just wrote their music. But to me, these two have become companion albums. These are probably going to be albums that I will listen to, right after one another. Just because they're so similar, but still so different in style. And it's interesting, they both make me think of Sanctuary, but in quite different ways and different Sanctuary albums. And then up last, Soul Healer, Bear the Cross. Now, this is, to be honest, not a first impression, but it's been a lot of time since I actually listened to it, so it might as well have been a first impression. Also, straight up heavy metal, with maybe a bit more of a Euro power metal leaning, but not cheesy like that. You have some great guitar solos. You have, your twin guitar melodies and all that stuff. You got some pretty good vocals on here too. So just a fine heavy metal album, very solid. I really like listening to it. I'm glad I picked up a physical copy of it for sure. So there you go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, because you have 2, 6. Technically 5, but 6 albums, all of which I really enjoy. And then you ended up with this weird situation where these 2 albums have now, in my mind, become companion albums. But yeah, I mean, I think the kind of key word here with all of these is just solidity. They're all solid releases, good representatives of their respective genres, and very enjoyable. This one, quite frankly, kicks ass if you like your modern thrash metal. So there you go. Thanks for watching.